Let's see. Make sure this is working. Why are you not coming up? Come on, work with me. There we go. Hey everybody, Lloyd today here, and I know, thank you Gortzy again for the Prime sub, and you've subbed for 1 whole year. Holy crap! I gotta do something for you guys. I gotta get some more emotes, but sorry I've been away for like 3 weeks. Just I had so many event things coming up that I wanted to put time away. Like I had to go to my grandmother's for New Year's. Where's my mind at? For Memorial Day, and then we were preparing for my younger sister's wedding, which we only had 3 weeks actually to get everything together. So I put a bunch of things on hold to help the family get all that set up, and then I did my little art show. Well, not mine, but a friend of the family that does an art show, and he likes when I bring my stuff, so I brought my brother's stuff. So yeah, with all 3 of that stuff done and over with, I now have a more open schedule for my streams now. And I pray and I knock on wood that nothing else comes up that tells me that I need to stop for another week or something. Yes, congrats on being back. Thank you. Thank you. I hope you, Quartzy, and you, Jet, have been good as well. I mean, we chat in the Discord, so it's not like I don't know what you guys have been up to. And I'm glad you guys were able to get through that nasty fire stuff from the Canadian wildfires, because that was bad for all of us. Anyway, figured we pick up where we left off with Professor Layton. And thank goodness that it does the what's been going on so far, our story so far, because I don't remember. Luke and Layton finally reach the pagoda and prepare themselves to meet future Layton. Their plans are foiled when they find out that the very man they've come to meet has stepped away. The two begin to ask questions around Chinatown and attempt to track him down. Yeah, it wasn't. That was a very surreal moment. So, I guess right now we're just gathering info? I guess wander? Whoa. Sir, that's... Someone take the paintbrush away from you.
Some people have no respect for others.
What seems to be the matter?
Just look at this wall of mine. Someone has graffitied it.
And it wasn't you?
I'm sure the neighborhood misfit who did it is having a laugh, but I'm the one who has to clean it up.
That paint stuck on pretty good. I don't think you'll be able to strip it off.
I suppose I'll just have to paint over the whole thing. While we're on the subject of paints, I might as well ask, you ever heard of this puzzle?
Peculiar paint job. This old brick wall has been painted in a strange aesthetic. There are 5 unique shapes on a white background. Artsy. Which color paint was used the most? Touch the correct can, then tap submit. Alright, so immediately, it's gotta be a combination of colors. And I see this little hidden white can right here. Also, why does it look like he's using that paintbrush as a back scratcher? Where do you use the most? So yeah, he didn't combine colors. And for me, it just looks like white was used the most. Yeah, there's this white one right here.
How about this?
Got it! Got
No
it!
puzzle can stop me
And look,
from
he's using white to make correct. Exactly. Without a doubt, the white paint used as the background covers the most area. Yes. Smart thinking. And you know what? Your smart thinking has given me a brilliant idea of my own. Oh, let me hear it. If I just paint this wall white again, I'm practically begging someone to cover it in graffiti. So maybe you should get someone to come by and paint a fancy mural out there for me.
I mean, a white wall is one thing, but you'd have to be a real worm to graffiti a nice mural.
That does not stop people. I'm sorry.
Say, that idea's not half bad.
Off to a good start today. That was a nice, simple puzzle.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited about it myself.
Nice. And we get coin. And I don't think there's going to be other coins here. There's not much to click on.
I've got big...
Wait. I didn't click on you. Oh, okay. He just repeated himself. Go down here? This is just the train station, which I don't need. So where else here haven't I not gone to? Oh, hello. Make way, coming through. I'm in a hurry here. I've got to get back.
Goodness, that little man startled me. Who'd have thought such short legs could move so quickly? Did you see how he raced out of the shop? I sure did. He was sprinting, and in wet pants and shoes, too. And he was carrying 2 armfuls of books to boot. He must be a big customer here. Maybe the woman behind the counter knows something about him.
Like you?
May I help you find something? Actually, I was hoping you could tell us about the man who dashed out of your store just now. Oh, that's Dr. Avogadro. He's always in a hurry. His pants and shoes were soaked. It was very strange. I guess I've gotten used to it. He always looks like that. He sneaks away from work to browse through our new books. You know how absent-minded geniuses can be. I bet he doesn't notice puddles in the road. Or maybe he likes to go fishing on his breaks. Who knows? He always bursts in, buys a few books, and then dashes out without so much as a word.
Okay, I guess that's it? Just a short guy that liked books. Oh, there's that short guy.
Yeah, what is it? What do you want? Can't you see I'm in a hurry here?
Oh, I think you've upset him. You can't go running up to people you don't know and expect them to chat with you. I can't help it, Flora. How else are we supposed to find leads for our investigation? Well, some people really don't like talking to strangers.
Hey, if you two are just going to stand there squabbling, will you at least get out of my way? I've got places to be, and I don't appreciate you stopping me.
Oh, but you don't really want to run around like that, do you?
Like what?
With your pants and shoes all wet and squishy, it seems awfully uncomfortable.
There'll be time for trying later. I have to go now. Enjoy your little row.
Darn, there he goes. He might have stayed if you hadn't upset him from the get-go. You can hardly blame that on me.
Okay. Oh, now we can go here. Oh, here's the skittish guy again.
Hello there. Good day, miss. The name's Hazel. It's lovely to meet you. Hiya, Hazel. Oh, no. It's you.
Good to see you again.
You were using that cute girl as a decoy to lure me out of hiding. I knew it. I knew something was funny when it started chatting me up out of the blue. Why, oh why? Did I stop talking to you, to her? They've got me right where you want me. I gotta get out of here.
Whatever did I do to get on that fellow's bad side?
Beats me, Professor. Is that fellow a friend of yours, Luke? That'd be nice, but I can't even get him to stop cowering in fear for 5 seconds.
Yeah, that's what, the 4th time we've scared him out of his britches?
Hello there, my name's Paige. What's yours, miss? I'm Flora. How do you do, Paige? Not so well, I'm afraid. I've had this puzzle in my mind for days, and it has me positively stumped. I know we just met, and this is terribly forward of me, but would you mind taking a look at it?
Alright, what do we got? Create the chick. Ooh! I'm gonna like this one. To complete the chick, fit the 5 blocks that form Professor Layton's top hat into the outline below without overlapping the pieces or leaving any spaces empty. You can rotate or flip the blocks. Okay. This one here is going to be the problem. Where should I start? I guess this one. Wait a minute. There we go. That's what I wanted. Put that one there. How do I rotate? Okay. That is not going to work. Then we get one that's just like a measly 2 pieces. No, that's not gonna work either. That's 3, and I'm... This oblong shape, though, is going to be issue 2. Alright, so let's move that. I can see now why this is worth 40. This is not as easy as I thought it might have been. Oh, wait. This fits there really good. He rushes in. I'm late! Hello, Ray. Good to see you, and you're never late. Right now, we're solving a block puzzle. Oh, actually... No, that's not gonna work. Okay, that works. And we stick the green one here. So now it's just this. I feel like I'm... Hold on a minute. Put that there. This needs to be flipped there. And we are done.
Here goes nothing. Did you see that?
Well done! This baby bird is still too young to fly. Gosh, you must have sort of super brain to solve a puzzle like that so easily. Well, I try. After all, smarts are something no true lady can be without. Oh wow, we got a sticker and a new parrot thing. What do we got? For coinage. Nope. Come on. There's so much crap to click on. That's 1. Two. I think I'm only gonna get 2 out of here, aren't I? Yeah. Oh well. Whoa!
Oh, what a splendid parrot you've got there.
Nice to meet you. Meet you. I'm Polly. Polly?
Oh my, clever and polite. My name's Myrtle, Polly. Hello, Myrtle. Nice to meet you. Is this your pet shop? Pet shop? No, young fellow. This is no pet shop. It's a meeting place for animals to find true friends. Are you good friends with Polly? You bet. Oh, I forgot to introduce myself. My name's Luke. Hey, well, it's very nice to meet you, Luke. You and Polly play nice with each other now, you hear?
Get lost. Get lost, you clown.
Now's not the right time to be bust that out, Polly. Ah. That's a turtle? The tortoise is big before. That's a weird... Okay, I can see the shell in the arm, but... It's got a goofy looking face. Is there... anything? There's gotta be a hidden puzzle in here. Look at all this crap. Nothing? There's nothing. Okay, I got a coin. Oh, okay. You know what? Fine. I'll take the coins. But still, with something that has this amount of clickable options, you'd think there'd be a puzzle. Befriend! Tell me, Luke, does anything about this room strike you as familiar? Actually, now that you mention it. Befriend! That's an awfully big sigh for such a small bee. What's got you down?
Me? Well, you know, even a honeybee like myself gets a little down in the dumps now and then.
It must be awfully hard to take care of all those puzzles, being, a bee and all.
Oh, that? No, that's a piece of cake, kid. I promise that I'm different from the other bees.
No kidding. What's your story anyhow, Beasley? Oh!
Oh, so you want to hear about me, do you then? Sure, all right. It's a gripping tale of a lowly drone's triumph over adversity.
I just realized, why does he have human arms?
Become a puzzle bee. I'm talking...
Gotcha! No! Beasley!
You killed him!
Better? Bugs are so very icky, don't you think?
No!
You really can't slap them enough. Oh.
No!
Stop doing that! I think he's had enough slapping for one day. Now how are we supposed to solve all those puzzles that we left behind?
Oh, no worries there, my fellow puzzle aficionado. Taking care of puzzles is my job now.
'Cause you committed
In
murder!
charge, so just leave it to me.
Granny who? Oh, right, of course. So then you're...
That's right. You can call me Puzzlette, because that's my name. Hope to see ya soon, soon.
I like to file a report of a murder! A bee murder! For those little puzzles, you would love to see you. Tap that tiny house over there to say hello.
Go on, don't be shy.
If I turn my back to open the door, is she gonna murder me? No puzzles here for you to solve. Here's one puzzle, though. Solve this bee murder. Rip, shocked me the first time, too. Holy crap. I was taken aback by that one. Oh my god. The bee didn't do anything wrong, and he gets absolutely massacred. Don't run off. There's still more for us to learn here in Chinatown. I don't know who else to talk to. If you're still looking for the towering pagoda, you should know you're a little off course. Oh, we know that. Actually, right now we're out gathering information. Is that so? Doing a research project for school, are you? Well, it would behoove you to talk to all the folks around here. It'll give you perspective on the place. Once you've chatted with them all, come and see me again. Maybe I'll have an interesting tidbit or two for you. Thank you, I got some direction to go with. But wouldn't it be easy if you just told us what you now know, sir? But I'm pretty sure I talked to everyone. Hello there, how my favorite gentleman doing? Okay, so you don't have anything. You?
Yeah, the boss. Look, I'm here because I don't want to think about the boss, you follow? Besides, you're never going to find him in a hole in the wall like this. He likes more upscale joints.
Okay. Welcome to Peppa's Noodle Palace. What will it be? Sorry, but we're not here to eat. I just want to know if you can tell us anything about the fellow who runs the towering pagoda. Oh, I really can't interest you in a bite to eat. All right, then. Now, what were you saying? We would like to meet the man who runs the towering pagoda, but he seems to be out at the moment. Has he been by your restaurant? I don't think so. I mean, I don't even know what he looks like. But his lackeys come by here almost every day to slack off. They're horrible tippers, by the way. Now that I think about it, there's a good chance the man you're looking for never comes here. I mean, would you loaf on the job in a place where the boss could bust in on you at any moment? You make a good point. That's very astute of you. Flattery's nice, but if you really want to say thanks, order some food next time you come in, okay? Maybe you need to talk to them again now since you went to the gate? And, yeah, none of this looks upscale to me. That's like one of the most rundown, I'm not touching the buffet at all with a 10-foot pole restaurant.
What can I do for you?
We want to go see the man who runs the towering pagoda, but he was out. You know where he is?
I think so. I'm telling you, he's a dangerous man. You don't want to tangle him.
Come now, surely there's no harm in letting us know where he might be.
You're wrong there, but I guess I can tell you what I heard. It's just a rumor, though. You sure you want to know this? I'm telling you, this fellow's bad news. Real bad.
We can handle it. What have you heard?
People say he disguises himself and then walks around town. We could be only feet from him right now and not know it. Freaky, right? Look, I'm getting creeped out, so let's end this little chat, okay? Later.
Oh, now he's absolutely gone.
Okay.
What about you, weird toy guy?
Remember, you're never too old to play with toys.
And remember, never say that to a cop because, that will open up a bag of worms. What about you? You can pester me all you want, but the boss is still out. That means you're not getting in. Maybe I'll talk to the guy back here again? Oh! Okay, this might be good.
Good day, whippersnappers. Did you manage to find that dreadful man who runs the towering pagoda?
Unfortunately, no. He was out when we paid him a visit. We're actually trying to locate him now.
Ah, well, you're wasting your time searching for him in this part of town.
Does that mean you know where we can find our man?
Ho, ho, ho! I've said it's too much. I can be so careless at times.
So you do know. Please tell us where we can find him. It's very important.
I'll say it again, lad. I like how forthright you are. Given that, I suppose I can drop a hint your way that may help you. That is, on one condition.
Yes?
If you run over and tell my darling wife that I'll be eating lunch out today.
We don't know who or where she is.
Oh, she's easy to find, my Myrtle. She runs a pet shop on the edge of Chinatown.
Okay, now Myrtle's more important of a character.
It shouldn't take you long to find it.
Very well then, we'll deliver the message to your wife and return later.
I hate her cooking. Hate it, hate it, hate it.
This must be where we'll find Myrtle.
Hello, schnoz woman.
We have a message for you, Myrtle.
Let me guess, it's from that no-good husband of mine. That sluggard just strolls about town all day, while I work my fingers to the bone here.
Professor, what's a sluggard?
I'll explain later when we don't have an angry lady in front of us. Now, where were we? Right, your husband Rudolph wanted to let you know he's eating lunch out today.
No doubt he's at Pepper's. It's infuriating. I'm the one who works, yet I still manage to prepare lunch for us every day. And he has the nerve to let it go to waste.
Now, madame, please settle down.
Furthermore, we don't have enough disposable income to eat out all the time. I don't care how much he likes these soups. His behavior's simply shameful.
Well, since you've delivered the message, we'd best be off now.
I spend valuable time picking out and preparing nutritious, delicious recipes, and this is my thanks? I'm a working woman, you know. Oh, where did everyone go?
I like me some soup. Whew, that was intense. It just goes to show that when someone prepares you food, you can't just run off on them. Say, where's the professor? Here I am. You three surprised me. I had no idea you could run that fast. My apologies, Professor. It was getting a bit uncomfortable in there. Professor, don't you agree that it's very rude to stand someone up when they've made food for you? Like cucumber sandwiches? Oh, yes. Absolutely. A gentleman should always express gratitude for the hospitality of others. Now that's over with, Rudolph needs to hold up his end of the bargain. Let's pay him another visit. We'll have to go all the way to the beginning area. Which is good because now that explains why there's a trolley person here. Not person, but building. We are going to Auckland Lane? No. We're going to Flatstones. Okay. I'm making a noodle now, actually. I haven't had ramen noodles in a long time. Just, the instant stuff is not good for you. But the stuff that you get, like, at a restaurant gets expensive. Oh, here's Chalmey.
Greetings, Layton. How goes your investigation?
I believe I'm making good progress, thanks in no small part to you. Wait, why are you leaving? Rudolph was the guy you were talking... Oh, crap! What about yourself, Inspector? Have you come across any promising leads? I thought Rudolph was the dude that worked with older Luke.
I'd say so. You won't believe the chat I heard a couple of suspicious blokes having a moment ago.
Really? Now? Please tell me what you heard. Bricks and bullion. A rowdy band of thieves was apprehended just before they could execute their boss's orders. These here 10 bars of gold will fit right into that there brick wall. Nobody will be the wiser. We'll stash them here till the heat dies down. I almost done forgot the important part. Don't go putting no bigger bars on top of any littler ones. Sounds like a plan, boys? Now get to it. Are these orders even possible? Place the gold bars on the wall and find out. You're not going to notice a shiny area of brick and think to yourself, this looks normal. Bigger bricks cannot go on top of smaller bricks. So let's do this instead. Move this over, then put that there. There. But I can't do it here because it'll be on top of the small ones. No, go back. Okay. But now I'm gonna have a gap. Oh, wait. Put that there. So, oh my god, that's annoying. Oh, I was overlapping one of them. How the hell did that happen? Ugh! Oh, I'm so close! Son of a bullion. I need to get these two, like, together so I can add this last brick. I know it could be bad for you, but ramen is so tasty. And it's cheap, but so much sodium in those packets. I feel these two here have to be there. The way around that is not use the packet and cook with the ramen. But then you pretty much just have noodles. And there's a bajillion kinds of noodles that you just get at the store. So this is the biggest brick. This isn't gonna work. Wait a minute. Wait! I think I got it.
I've got a good feeling about this one.
What?
I must have overlooked something.
Don't tell me I'm covering up one of them by accident. Oh, no, I overlapped. God damn it, I didn't notice that. I was gonna say, put the biggest brick in the bottom right and one of the 4 tile bricks on top of it. So like that, and then like that. There we go.
That should do the trick.
Thank you.
Few things satisfy like a puzzle solved.
Golden! What a clever way to hide that bullion. That boss is one smart guy after all. No, he's not. If you wanted to be really smart, he'd have someone grab like some paint or something. Instead, everyone's gonna be like, that is the shiniest ball I've ever done seen.
There, it's solved.
True, but unfortunately I don't see any link between this puzzle and our case.
Oh? Well, yes, I suppose that's true. I guess it's back to pounding the pavement for now.
Okay, we got to go back to Chinatown. Because I got names wrong. Alright, cough up the info, old man.
Ho-ho! Did you deliver the message to my honey?
We did, but I have to tell you that she was absolutely seething by the time we left. You may never want to go home.
Why, of a four? She seemed rather upset at the thought you might be visiting Pepper's restaurant. Oh, ho, ho, dear me. I fear there may be a misunderstanding brewing here.
The other guy was Shipley, right? I don't remember the name. It's just that guy with the sunglasses and the scar on his face that I thought we had to go to.
My wife is a gem. I treat her like a queen. And what queen do you know prepares lunches? She works so hard that I don't want to add to her burden. Plus, who doesn't love noodle soup? Anyhow, excuse me, I'm boring you now. Let me give you that bit of information I promised you. This is just a rumor, but I've heard that the fellow you're after is quite fond of old Father Thames. Some say he likes going for the long walks to admire the river whenever he has a spare moment. Interesting. So there's a chance we might find our man down by the River Thames? Oh, like I said, it's a rumor and nothing more. But go and see. Maybe it'll pan out. We'll do just that. Thank you for the advice. just a moment now. You younger folks are always in a hurry, aren't you? Here, take this.
Ooh, a flyer?
A flyer? It's a small restaurant on the edge of the Thames. It's called the Thames Arms. A lovely little place. If you're in the area and have the time, you really should stop in.
Pronounced Thames, not Thames. Alright, Thames. It's Thames. Because I had this issue before in past Layton games.
It sounds like a perfect place to take a break. We'll be sure to check it out if time allows. Good day, sir. Oh, wait just a moment, boy.
Yes?
My wife Myrtle, exactly how angry was she?
Furious.
Oh, I see. Thank you. That will be all.
What's wrong, sir?
I think I'm gonna have to tell my boys I am gonna have to say goodbye one last time. Oh dear.
Where does one go to admire the Thames around here? Said it! Thames! There was a hill we walked over on the way to Chinatown. The view on the river was nice. The place Luke's talking about has a path that runs down to the riverside. It might be worth checking out. Oh goody, a walk by the river sounds so nice. Flora, focus. This is serious business. We're hot on the trail of a criminal.
Oh, Luke, loosen up a little. We're making progress in the case, and Flora's just finding her own way to enjoy it.
I suppose that's true. Then what are we waiting for?
Yes, let's head to the hill. Yeah, save progress. New chapter. Which is a meeting by the river. That does look like a neat place to have a meal. Hopefully it's not too far. Oh, there's another scientist guy. We've seen you before. Hello again, sir.
Yeah, why do you keep sneaking up on me?
Sorry, it's just that I noticed your pants and shoes were soaked and...
So what? I gotta wear pants. That's the least of my problems right now.
Well, what seems to be the problem?
I'm here waiting on a friend, and I think there's some confusion about our meeting time.
Timely arrivals. I think my watch is 5 minutes slow, but it's actually 5 minutes fast. My friend thinks his watch is 5 minutes fast, but it's actually 5 minutes slow. If we try to show up at our meeting point at the same time, following only the time on our watches, how many minutes earlier than my friend will I arrive? Also, if I happen to arrive later than my friend, put a minus sign in front of your answer. Okay. I think my watch is 5 minutes slow, but it's actually 5 minutes fast. My friend thinks his watch is 5 minutes fast, but it's actually 5 minutes slow. So, wouldn't you arrive 10 minutes prior? Remember, go by the time they think. Any point at the same time, following only the time on our watches. It doesn't even give us a time to work with. And they also add a minus sign in front of your answer. I think I might need a hint for this one. If you're confused, try looking at an analog clock while thinking about the conditions of this puzzle. Well, I have the clock on my computer. So let's see. He thinks it's 5 minutes slower, but it's... Or 5 minutes fast, but it's 5 minutes slow. What's the difference between the actual time of our meeting and the time when I arrive? If you figure this out, you'll know my friend will arrive if you think about him as the exact opposite. Okay, so
let's say, given an example of time, make it, let's say, 2 o'clock. Now, he says, I think my watch is 5 minutes slow, but it's actually 5 minutes fast. And if he's looking at this, 2 o'clock on his watch, this would actually mean it would be 1:55 for the first guy, for you. And for this one, he thinks it's 5... Yeah, 10. Okay. Thinks it's 5 minutes fast. So if you think your watch is 5 minutes slow, how will you compensate other than by fixing it? I mean, you would just wind the watch, but that depends upon what kind of watch you have. I was going to say this one thinks it's 5 minutes fast, but it's actually 5 minutes slow. Oh, so wait. It shows... I hate to do this, but I'm cheating. I'm being a dirty little cheater. I'm looking up the answer. I don't care. This one's giving me a headache. Assume the winding it / fixing the time is not possible for whatever reason. Yeah, don't even worry about the beans. Beans are not even existing right now. The answer is 20. But I do want to know why.
That should do the trick. Just as I suspected.
Smart. I'll arrive at our meeting point 20 minutes before my friend. My watch is 5 minutes faster than the actual time, but I think my watch is 5 minutes slow, so I'll arrive 5 minutes before our meeting time, which will actually be 10 minutes early. My friend is just the opposite. He'll be 10 minutes late. Our difference then is 20 minutes. Whatever. I don't like this puzzle.
Now it all makes sense.
I'm glad I was able to be of some use to you.
Oh yeah, as a scientist, it's clear to me that you've got a real knack for critical thinking.
I'll say he's the most acclaimed professor of archaeology in the country.
That'd explain it. Anyhow, my thanks, Mr. Professor.
I'm glad I could be of assistance. Sorry, but that question is just a massive whoosh over my head.
Salutations and whatnot. What brings you upstanding citizens back through here?
We're tracking down the boss of the family. We got a hot tip that he's down by the Thames.
Whoa now, pipe down. Keep sniffing around for trouble like that and there's something bound to start stinking. Take it from me.
You certainly appear to be an authority on the subject.
Don't you know it? And I know enough to tell you guys aren't gonna heed my warning. If you're dead set on going to the riverside, at least check out the restaurant there. The grub there is phenomenal. You might as well look for trouble on a full stomach.
Just which way must I venture to get to Rome? I forgot we re-encountered you last time. Here's the one with the stupid watch. Hello there.
My hello there. Oh no, not you again.
He's not who you think he is. This is all a big misunderstanding.
Oh, and just who is he?
If you're thinking he's the head of the family, he's not. Honest, he's not. I mean, just look at those eyes. You can see for yourself they aren't the eyes of a criminal.
To be frank, they're so small and beady it's hard to tell. But I suppose they do seem rather trustworthy, now that I've stared at them for a bit.
You know, now that I'm looking a bit more closely, your eyes are pretty beady too, mister. Yes, well, that's enough on that subject. Tell me, sir, what are you doing out here?
I was supposed to meet a friend here, but he's really late.
I have a time puzzle for you. Nope. Nope. Nope.
Almost there. Oh, the view of the Thames is nice here. Where do you suppose the future professor is? I'm so excited to meet him. Flora, you're awfully cheery about all of this. Well, aren't you excited to meet him too? I want to find him, but I can't say I'm looking forward to meeting a criminal.
Those stairs over there should take us down to the riverside area. Let's not waste any time then. Down we go. Do I want to talk to Mr. I might as well.
Perhaps a new crave is what I need to make my case.
Bye. New area. Wait, I do believe those are used to catch fish. These huge things? Aren't they just like buoys?
Wow, the river looks like it goes on forever. It's so pretty.
Hello, Rabbit.
Careful now. That rabbit looks awfully, agitated. I don't like that glint in his eye. He looks like he could attack us at any moment.
And this deserves voice acting. Why?
Well, you've always had a way with animals, even those of the more cantankerous variety. Why don't you see if you can't befriend the little fellow?
Befriend him. Right. He doesn't look too, friendly, but I guess I can give it a shot.
Cutscene!
What do you want?
Hello. I hope you're enjoying this lovely day. Would you mind if we pass through here?
Yeah, you humans are so full of yourself. Always acting like you own a place. But this here's my turn.
Oh, you remember this one?
Take one more step and I'll rearrange your kneecaps.
And that's a threat. That's a very bad threat from a rabbit.
Sorry, Mr. Rabbit. I didn't mean to.
Mr. Rabbit? Ah, please. What storybook you get that from? The name's Subject Free, okay? And don't get any stupid ideas about us being friends just because you know my name now.
Bugs Bunny went into some hard times, hasn't he? Jeez.
Of course not, Mr. Subject 3. I didn't mean to impose, but we really do need to pass through here.
Those puny ears of yours don't hear too well, do they, boy? I thought I made it clear that this is my turf.
But we just...
Ah, shut your trap. Look, I'm not an unreasonable rabbit, but nothing's free, you know. If you want through that much, you're gonna have to solve this puzzle.
Always a puzzle. Rabbit hops. Oh, it's a easy one. Ah, okay. Oh, no. This peculiar rabbit has a unique method of getting around. He travels 70 centimeters with each hop, but when he lands, he immediately hops 30 centimeters toward the direction his tail is pointing. Oh, so he goes up. Okay, yeah. He goes up and then pops backwards? On a straight line, what is the minimum number of hops it will take this rabbit to reach a spot of 10 meters away? Oh. Ray, please feel free to release the bean jar. I do not mind you releasing that bean jar. Just give it a good rattle and just let him rip. As you can tell from all the Layton games I've played, I hate math questions. If it helps any, 1 meter is 100 centimeters. He doesn't hop backwards, he spins around and then jumps backwards. So, 2 hops. Okay.
This one's as good as solved.
That
I guess
wasn't
it's
the answer.
Back to the drawing board.
This game likes the number 20 for some reason.
Here's my answer. Phew, that's a relief.
Hop, hop, hooray. 20 hops is correct. If the bunny rabbit turns 180 degrees in midair during each 70 centimeter hop, he will land and then hop 30 centimeters toward his tail, which will be pointing forward toward the target spot. Using this method, it will simply take the bunny 2 hops to cover each meter.
You're one of the smarter humans I've met. I'll give you that.
So what exactly is your story, Mr. Subject 3?
Want to know more about this old hair, do you? Well, get your hanky ready, because my tail's a real tail jerker.
Okay.
I was born in the mean streets of London and separated from my parents at an early age. I would never see them again.
Aww.
It wasn't long before I was kidnapped and sold as a lab animal. I thought it couldn't get any worse. I was wrong. The research facility I was taken to was the most miserable place on Earth. It was there that the whitecoats started calling me Subject 3.
That's a peculiar name.
Yeah, that's because it wasn't so much a name as an ID. I was a test subject, not a cuddly pet. There was a Subject 1 and a Subject 2 there, but who knows what happened to them.
I don't mean to stir up painful memories, but you said you were a test subject, so...
Oh yeah, Beasley was gonna tell his tale, then he got squashed. So, I'm glad the rabbit didn't get squished.
You want to know about the tests they did on me? Just thinking about it makes my fur stand on end. Well, this was one of their favourite routines. They'd throw me in a room and cut the lights. There'd be a loud noise like nails on a blackboard. Next thing I know, I'm in a totally different room. Even now, I've no idea what they were doing.
That sounds awful.
Have you two worked everything out?
Did you hear Subject 3's terrible story?
He doesn't... Luke, he does not talk animal.
Apparently, he was forced to be a test subject in a whole bunch of weird science experiments.
Our friend here carries a heavy burden on his shoulders.
Poor little fellow.
Poor little fellow? Spare me your pity. Life is hard, kid, and I've had it harder than most. None of it really matters. The sooner you stop expecting good
Jet,
things
thank you for
to
the hydrate.
happen, the better off you'll be.
What kind of attitude is that? You're free now, and you've got your whole life ahead of you.
Ah, so now you're gonna tell me how to live my life, eh?
Oh, no.
Go on then, get out of my face before I bite the lot of you.
Can we at least pass now? Okay, yeah, he's to the side, so we can. Oh, come on, I was hoping maybe at one of the spires would be a coin, but oh well. Oh, there's 2 ways I can go. Let's go this way first.
And just who might you be?
Oh my god, those eyes! He's staring into your soul!
My name is Herschel Layton. I don't believe I've made your acquaintance, Mr.
Oh, me? I'm Beacon. I take care of that lighthouse in the river.
Then shouldn't you be there, protecting the shore from errant boats instead of hanging out here?
Oh, hey there, little boy.
You were so quiet I didn't notice you there. So you want to know why I'm here? I'll be happy to tell you. But first, I need your help. There's this puzzle I just can't solve. It's been keeping me up all night, and I need my beauty sleep. Won't you help me find the answer to this troublesome little thing?
Making a scene. One male is standing in front of a child. Two males are standing behind a female. One male and one female are standing behind a male. A female is standing behind a child. What's the minimum number of people present in the scene described? Okay, take this piece by piece. One male is standing in front of a child. So, one man and a child. Man is in front of the child. Two males are standing behind a female. So, let's add another male here. And a female here. I think I got it answered. Wow, Quartzy, you're fast. Alright, two males are standing behind a female, which is correct. One male and one female are standing behind a male. One male and one female. What if the child is also a male? Because they flip-flop. There's male, there's female, and child. But the child can be both a selection of male or female. So you know what? Let's go under the assumption that the child is a male. Child, male. So add one male here, which makes the first one gone. And then child that's male and another male are standing behind a female. This eliminates one of the unnecessary M's. One male and one female are standing behind a male. Yeah, one male and one female standing behind a male, which would be the child. A female is standing behind a child. Meaning there will be one extra person. So then the answer would be 4. Right? So let's see. If I have a child, just assume child's male. Remember which way is forward. This way is forward. One male is standing in front of a child. This male, the child that I'm classifying as male. Two males are standing behind a female. The female's at the front, two males are behind. One male and one female are standing behind a male. Here's the male. Here's the child that's male behind the male. And the female that's also behind the male. A female standing behind a child, which would be this one. So, and you think, Quartzy, that's what you got. So let's see if we're both right. 4.
That should do the trick.
What?
There's
There's something tricky going on. But that makes complete sense. What am I missing here? You had a different answer at first. But the reason that they're saying child is that's probably what is throwing people off. One male and one female are standing behind a male. Standing behind a child. They're all children? You know, that's not a bad idea, actually. Saying that males and females could also be children. Child male, child male. One male standing behind a male. But I'm still getting 4. Does it matter that they have to be all children? It's easy to figure out if you draw a picture of the scene, but there's something you need to be mindful of. You know, the puzzle never specified that everybody was standing in the same direction. What? What gender is the child? The child is a male. Did you figure that out yet? It sure makes things a lot easier, doesn't it? With that in mind, a male child standing behind an adult male, both of whom have their backs to an adult female, fulfills all of the conditions. That's it. Now I get it. I was thinking that they're all facing the same direction. One of them could be looking in a completely opposite direction. So then, it's either 2 or 3. They said the child is male. So, child, male, in front of a child. Two males are standing behind a female. It specified 2 males behind a female. Yes. Okay, yeah, so it can't be 2. You're right. I didn't think of that. So, maybe it's 3.
Let's see if I've got this right.
It is 3.
Well, that's settled.
Yep, that's what I thought. One of them is looking in a different direction. 3's the crowd. 1 adult male, 1 adult female, and 1 male child. That's all it takes if they're standing as shown in the image above.
Goodness, you're quite the brainiac, aren't you? Now, what was it that you and your little friend wanted to talk about? We were just wondering what you were doing here on the shore instead of the lighthouse. Ah, yes, well, mine's a rather sad story, so I hope you don't cry easily. I'll try to keep it brief. Before I came to London, I was a star lighthouse keeper out in Dover. But then my employer fitted the place out with a mechanical control system. But the machine there was made, as they say, redundant. I was crushed. I've been living my dream, only to be chased out by a machine. That is a terribly unfortunate turn of events. Just wait, it gets worse. After being run out of town, I found work here in London, right? The ad said I'd be looking after the lighthouse, but when I peeked inside the other day, I was shocked. The whole thing was filled with awful machines buzzing, whirring, and doing other machinery things. I couldn't stand being around all that clanking, so I decided to go for a walk to clear my head. Strange, why would the owner put an ad for a lighthouse keeper when the machines do all the work?
Something about Beacon's story sure seems fishy, Professor.
Yes. I have a feeling there's more going on here than you, I, or Beacon have been made aware of.
Oh, neat. We got some more stuff.
Now, this is a curious little shed. Look, be a good lad and open the door for us, will you?
It's no use, Professor. Someone's locked this place up tight. We need the key to get in.
That's too bad. Perhaps we should try returning here later. For now, let's move on.
I know, lots of sads today. We got a killed bee, sad story rabbit, and down on his luck with job Beacon.
What a quaint little restaurant. It's called the Thames Arms.
Well, the Thames Arms appears to be open. Let's say we step inside and have a look around.
Not until I check for coins, obviously. Because I used 4 coins on that stupid puzzle.
Gentlemen, lady, welcome to the Thames Arms. Good afternoon, sir. We're here in search of an acquaintance who may have come by today. As you can see, business is quite slow. One regular came in earlier, but he left a few minutes ago. I see. This regular didn't happen to come from Chinatown, did he? Ah, forgive me, but it doesn't seem right to give out that kind of information without his consent. Of course, I understand your concern. However, this information could be vital in assuring the safety of London. That's quite a claim to make. What about this? If you can help me with the problem I'm having, perhaps I can help you with yours.
Diced dates. I'm going to say this is going to be involving the fruit. Nope, I'm totally wrong. You've decided to make a special pair of dice that can display each day of the month numerically on your desk, as shown by the 12 at the top of the screen below. I have one of these I bring out during Christmas. Each day must use both dice, however, which means single-digit days like the first and second of the month will display as 0, 1, and 0, 2 respectively. You thought you had the design figured out, but the layouts below won't display all the dates. Draw a circle around the one number that needs to be changed. 0, 1, 0, 2, 0, 3, 0, 4, 0, 5, 0, 6. 0, 7 won't be shown. Actually, no. Then there's the issue of getting 0, 8 and 0, 9. Because I noticed there's 2 1s here. But you need that because 0, 1 is a date and 1, 0 is a different date. One, 1, 2, 1, 3, 1, 4, 1, 5, 1, 6, 1, 7, 1, 8, 1, 9. Yeah, and 2 2s. Yes, 11 is also correct. 9 and 6 interchange. Yes, you're right, because you can always turn the block. Because, like, you could do 0, 6, and then turn this block around to make it 0, 9. So then, would this 9 here need to be changed? 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. No, because I'd still need this. Oh, no, wait. 1, 5, 1, 6, 1, 7, 1, 8, 1, 9. Then we get to 20, which would be here. 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29. This needs to be changed.
Let's see if I've got this right. Well, if at first you don't succeed.
But it makes... my answer is valid. One. You need a 0 on both blocks. 03, 04, 05, 06. Yes, you're right. Because when you try to do 07, 08, and 09, they're over on this one. You need it for this one. Maybe I chose the wrong one?
That should do the trick.
That was it. I picked the wrong 9-6
settled.
inversion. Nice. The 6 needs to be changed. The current design won't allow the dice to display the number 7 or 8. But if you change the 6 to a 0, you can flip the 9 upside down to use it as a 6 and display it all the dates. I'm going to say I got this 95% right. I just picked the wrong one that needed to be flipped. Excellent. Your help is much appreciated. Now that we've solved your problem, can you tell us about the man who was in here earlier? A deal's a deal. That customer who came by earlier is what some might call a bit of an odd duck. Every time he comes in, he's wearing something different. Maybe he thinks I won't recognize him.
So he disguises himself?
He tries to, at any rate. He told me that he can't afford to be spotted in public, so he always wears different clothes. And this man hails from Chinatown. That's right, he says he comes here to unwind. His routine is pretty much the same every time. Usually he walks in wearing that top hat of his, orders a beverage, and finds a seat by the window.
Did you just say he wears a top hat?
I did. It's a tall number, like the one your friend is wearing. But as you said before, this man has already left today. That's right. If you were here just a few minutes ago, you would have bumped into him leaving.
Do you suppose this means he's going back to the Towering Pagoda, Professor?
I think that's a good possibility. Why don't we go confirm our suspicions?
That's a good idea. Let's go.
Have a nice day. Hot digging a dog. That NPC reminds me of that new Muppet series that's showing right now. Awesome. Is that... It is!
Hi there, Barton. Fancy seeing you here.
Oh, hello, Luke. I've been travelling round on foot and gathering information. But all that walking has me in the mood for a snack.
So that's why you were peeking through the restaurant window.
Yes, I confess that a lovely wobbly jelly caught my eye. Do a hungry man a favour and keep my little break a secret from the inspector, please.
Ha! I wouldn't dream of reporting you, my good man. But now that you mention it, where is the inspector?
He's been conducting a series of exhaustive interviews with everyone he meets in town. Once he finds a useful source, he really knows how to wring out every last detail.
I'll bet.
Maybe the guy who gets easily spooked knows future/evil Leighton and that he wears a tall top hat. We haven't had a good conversation with him. He usually just ends up running off, so that's very possible.
Oh, my dear sweet Fluke, I've been looking everywhere for you.
Uh-oh.
What are you doing here?
Please excuse Luke here. He's just surprised is all. What a pleasant coincidence it is that we all happen to walk through here.
Coincidence? Oh, no, no, no. This is nothing short of fate. Because you see, Fluke and I are destined for one another.
Well, I suppose that's one way of thinking about things.
Fate? Destiny? Luke, just what have you been telling this sweet girl?
Me? Nothing. It's all one big misunderstanding.
Belle and I, we aren't, involved like that. Oh, Fluke, when'd you get all flustered like that? You're so cute I could just eat you up. I'm not flustered or cute. Hush now, my strong, gorgeous man. There'll be time for more flirting later. I come to let you know that I've been seeing strange men running all over town, looking for you. They keep going on and on about the boss, blue hats, and other gibberish. That sounds bad. Professor, do you think the family's finally caught on to us?
That voiceover. I fear that might be the case. If so, we have limited time. We must gain access to the towering pagoda before the family reinforces their guard in the area.
Don't be scared, my sweetling. I won't let anyone harm my dreamy hunk of a man. Look, Belle, thanks for the warning, but you can stop worrying about me now. You can stop calling me weird names. Alright, let's go now. Oh, Fluke, I love when you play hard to get. It just makes me swoon.
No, kiss me. That was a very fast chapter. The Master of the Towering Pagoda. Bum, bum, dum, 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 dum. We haven't seen new NPCs, so I'm guessing there's nothing new for puzzles. So let's just head straight to the pagoda. Back again, I see. We heard that Mr. Layton had returned. That's true. That being the case, I assume you'll let us through this gate? Fine, I have no objections. Well, that's not entirely true. There is one minor issue left. When the boss got back, he told me not to let anyone through the gate without solving this puzzle first. The impassable gate. And 60? Oh, this is another pushing puzzle, isn't it? No one has ever solved the impassable gate. Give it a try, if you dare. If you make it to the top, I'll let you pass. Here's an easy solution. Grab a pair of tweezers, grab the square that you need to move, and just pop it to the top. Like a cheap plastic slide puzzle game. Well, I hope you guys got yourself a nice drink and snacks. Because we're going to be here a while. Okay, I got you out there. Good. Not good. Hmm. I was playing one of my Dragon Quest games, and I actually had to deal with a sliding puzzle today that was actually pretty gosh darn annoying. I was kind of close to looking up the solution, but I ended up figuring it out on my own. Shoot. I'm not gonna be able to move down, will I? Crap. I'm not even touching the orange and the green yet. okay. Not okay. I end up doing the same thing I did before. Crab cakes. Back in a bit. I'm consoling a friend who lost his livelihood. His computer. Oh no! Do your best to cheer up your friend. I've been down that road before. Okay. Wait! No! No! Oh, damn it! This green one is gonna be the biggest problem! Oh, you got an ice pop. Nice! I haven't had an ice pop in forever. I need this green one tucked down here. How am I gonna do that? This has to get out of here somehow. It still results in me getting blocked in. Frig me. Alright. The orange definitely has to move out, because at least with the blue, I can kind of tuck it in. This is the roadblock I hit. I really wish were just smart enough just to grab a screwdriver so we could just pop all the pieces out and then just put the main square in where you need it. But this is not what a true gentleman does. Maybe there's some days I don't want to be a gentleman. I want to be a cheater. I mean, I looked up Google for 2 puzzles already, so I should be allowed to be a gentlemanly cheater. Oh, son of a... Very... Gotta say, though, this is a pretty effective security system. While someone's just busy sliding all this stuff, you got like 200 goons just standing behind them, just waiting patiently to pounce. Nope, I'm gonna be blocked in again. I was able to take the green block down? Oh, yes! But now I gotta figure out I'm so close. Yes, I can, actually. Good call on that one. Oh. Frick! Wait! Yes!
I've got a good feeling about this one. Just as I suspected.
Incredible! You may pass through this gate. It seems the boss was right on the money. Thank you! Oh, and thank you for the stretch. I need that. You must be guests he's been waiting on. Wonderful. Where can we find him? Head down the street to the pagoda. I wouldn't keep him waiting if I were you. Yes, you helped! Thank you so much for saying I could shove the orange thing up there. If I didn't, I probably would have hit that reset button.
The towering pagoda's not far now.
Finally, the Leighton from your time and the one from mine will meet each other face to face.
That might be tough, seeing as how our professor's not here.
Huh?
Where's the professor?
He seems to have disappeared.
But he just solved that puzzle that got us past the gate.
Yes, and then he walked through the gate together.
He was a bit ahead of us by that point. I think he might have waved at me before we vanished.
But where did he go?
I'm not sure, though he was smiling as he dashed off. But why?
My question exactly. His actions always have a purpose, but I can't see why he'd run away.
Hey, Flora, there's a slip of paper stuck to your back.
What the?
How embarrassing! Someone must be playing a prank on me.
There's something written on it in the professor's handwriting.
Let me see. It says, "Go on without me. I'll catch up with you soon."
He's never led us astray before, so I think we should do as he says.
I agree. This is probably all part of some brilliant plan that the professor's been reading. That sounds fine, but in the meantime, will one of you please take this paper off my back?
Yay! What are you lot doing back here?
We're just on our way to the Towering Pagoda, not that our business concerns you.
Not so fast. You can't kick me, son. You're one of the fellows behind the incident at the casino, aren't you?
Let's say I am. What would you do about it?
I'd get my boss smell me to give you a knuckle sandwich, if only he hadn't gone off to the bathroom.
Well, lucky for us, he's not here. We'll just be going now.
If you run off, I'll make sure my boss squishes you like a bug when he finds you.
Duly noted. Wait, one more thing. Solve this puzzle.
Just shoves it right in your face. Photo finish. The finish line photo of a race has been cut into strips. Why? Which were then mixed up. The runners finished the race in the order in the photo. Who came in third? Circle the answer. Why cut it up? Let's see, who came in third? It's a shame he can't move these pictures around. Alright, let's see here. This and this sync up with each other. And I can't see that well because it fades out the color. Alright, so this and this need to switch. Which means this goes in front here. And that goes in front of here. And that goes in front of here. So it's this one. Wait, I'm getting confused here. Trying to do a mental Scotch tape puzzle in your head is not easy. Okay, I can see the cat here and the legs of it here. So these two are definitely connecting with each other. And then it would be here to here. But there's no head for here, for this bird. So which one would be furthest to the left? Here. That's what I'm trying to figure out. Okay, that connects there. This connects here. This connects to here. And this connects to here. So the order would be the fourth one, the third one, the fifth one, the second one, and the first one. 1, 2, 3. Who came in third? So the 1, 2. It would be F then. H and I are in the furthest left, which looks like the front. Yes, that's what I'm seeing it as. And he's slightly ahead, so he's first, I is second, and then it goes to here because there's the end of her foot, which would then be F. So I'm going to say F.
I do believe I've got the answer.
Yes!
It seems I was right on the money.
Good eye! F came in third by a nose.
Darn, you solved my puzzle.
We really don't have any more time for this silliness. We'll just be heading to the pagoda now.
Fine, but just remember you got lucky. If my buddy were here, he'd be the one getting bossed around right now.
Are you finished?
This isn't over. Mark my words, you'll get yours. Yeah.
I hope we find the professor soon.
Poor thing. You're just lost without him, aren't you, Luke?
You're a fine one to talk.
Sorry to keep everyone waiting. Let's be off.
Where did you go? 1 minute you were there, and the next you'd vanished.
My apologies, Luke. I just needed to check something. But enough about that. Come along, everyone. The towering pagoda is just steps away.
And cutscene.
At last, we're here. And somewhere up there is the future Professor Layton.
It's a very
Perhaps,
impressive tower.
And perhaps not. I suspect this whole affair may be more complex than we originally thought. Yes.
Oh?
Ooh. Shmelmy must have been having a rough time dropping a rough load, I guess. Or whatever the bunny's name was.
I suppose it'd be too much to expect the door to be open. Let's see, the eyes of this dragon seem to be the key to unlocking this door. Sounds like a puzzle. Let me handle it, Professor. I'll have the door open before you know it.
Eye of the dragon. Ooh. This dragon's eyes aren't spheres, but dodecahedrons. This means that each eye is a 3D object constructed from 12 pentagons. Though one of the eyes is already made, the other one still needs to be assembled. Which option, A, B, or C, will create the exact same eye when folded together? I'm thinking I'm immediately going to count out C, possibly, because it just looks way too far out to be able to do that. I am not good with these. I'm just trying to mentally picture folding up one to where it's like 5 pieces and then folding it over. I think it's gonna be A, if you want my honest opinion. Because C, it looks like you're going to be twisting it a little too much for it to even connect. A and B are the biggest options here. You guys got an answer? You're right. I am?
How about this?
I am right.
Phew, that's a relief.
Way to go. The answer is A. The dragon's eyes flash and the door opens. All set. Smashing work, Luke. There's no time to celebrate, you two. Let's head in. We're now in the stronghold. I was going to be expecting a little bit more Oriental music. Much as a jelly bean. Enjoy them jelly beans.
Now what's this contraption here? It appears to be a peculiar set of goggles. I think they're too big for my head. Let me see them. Ah, this is some sort of personal projection device. Personal what? Think of it as a television for one Luke. Only the wearer can see the image inside.
A VR headset.
I'd wager there's a puzzle in these goggles that only the wearer can see. I'm sure solving it's the only way to get through this door. Now that's high tech. They should fit me comfortably. Let's have a look.
You look very silly in those.
What do you see, Professor? Those glasses make you look like a bug. A robot bug. I think something's coming into focus here.
It looks like a VR headset! Cut me some slack here! Strange glasses.
These two circular images show what you're seeing through your right and left eye. The images were originally the same, but one of them has now been flipped right... Wait. One of them has now been flipped right-left,
and spun around an unknown amount. The shapes are the same as in the original image with the exception of one, which has been changed slightly. I could see how the left one flipped and turned a bit. So I'm just matching things up now. I think it's the star. Not even the professor could see the cinnamon taste of Cinnamon Toast Crunch. Where'd you get that from? Yeah, because I'm picturing it as this. See the H here? Flipping it over and having the H at the top. And then matching all the pieces. So the H sinks. This goes back to this shape. Circle's still a circle. But then the star. And I'm looking at the star's lighting. And if you still flip it, this becomes that. This becomes that. The moon flips, yes. It's got to be the star. It's the only one that just seems out of the ordinary for this.
Let's see if I've got this right.
No?
Well, if at first you don't succeed...
You might have missed something. Oh, hey, negative! I do not know. Again, if you guys want to give your answers, feel free. Because this one is stumping me. And looking at all these shapes is just thinking of Lucky Charms marshmallow pieces. The nut sign. Alright, so if this one were to be flipped and turned... Yeah, the line. It would be in a different position. The position is in would be... Come on. Yeah.
That should do the trick.
Yeah, because I was just picturing it
Few
when it's
things
flipped.
satisfy like a
You still
puzzle
have to
solved.
turn it, which means the line isn't correct. The answer is G. You might have been fooled by the flipping, but since you were paying attention to differences along the shape's axis, you must have found the answer pretty easily. Not for me. Not for me. I thought it was the star. Whew. It's a relief to take those off. I was feeling a bit lightheaded and had some trouble focusing.
but it was totally worth it. Thanks to you, the door's unlocked. We're clear to press on. What a gloomy place. You think so? I actually like how there are dragons everywhere.
Ah, there's smell me. So you're the scoundrel who bullied my poor underling. That's going to cost you, lad.
Look who went crying to his boss. I've never seen such bravery. Quiet, you. What was I supposed to do back there? I was outnumbered by children. There, I understand. You're a small fellow, and you knew you had no chance of stopping us. So you got your big lug of a boss to do the dirty work for you.
Slaying all the insults you like, boy. Believe you me, if the boss allowed violence in the pagoda, I'd have pounded you one already. Since I can't do that, I'll sucker to you with this vicious puzzle.
Would you like me to take care of this one, Luke? And don't trouble yourself with this riffraff, Professor. I can handle whatever he's dishing out. Cave cover-up. A couple of rapscallions have hidden some stolen goods in a cave. To protect their stash, they're planning to seal off the entrance with some wood. To do so, they need to cut the board shown below into 2 equal pieces. Where should the thieves make their cut? Am I trying to make a perfect square here? Or a rectangle? This one actually doesn't have the warning that says that you can't flip it. But it also says it has to be 2 cuts. The 2 pieces need to be equal. Oh, cut the board shown below 2 equal pieces. Where should the thieves make their cut? Okay, it does allow you to do that. So I just have to find out the right shape for it to do it. And Jet thinks that they see it. Give me 1 sec, I'm still looking. You see it too. Unfortunately, I'm not seeing it. So just try to describe as best as possible where I gotta make the cut. Make an L cut. Like this?
I do believe I've got the answer.
Nice job!
Puzzling? I think not.
Nice cut. You're exactly right. To steal the cave, the thieves flipped one of the pieces upright as shown above. So much for that puzzle. Now what will you do?
You're lucky the boss doesn't let me rough up people in here. But you can't stay here forever. And when I see you on the outside,
You better watch your back.
Yeah, what he said.
They're all bark and no bite. Come on, everyone. We've got places to be. Not really anywhere I can click on to try and get some free coinage. Ooh. Hey! Thank you, bird friend! This.
This whole room is covered in mirrors. Strange, isn't it? It's very disorientating. It's hard to know which way we should head at.
It seems as if we hit a dead end. How do you think we should proceed, Big Luke? Maybe there's a hidden panel on one of these walls that we have to press to open a door here. Close, but not quite. If my guess is correct, the door out of here is hidden in the dark over there. We can't just rush headlong into the dark. There's no telling what traps could be set there. Ah, now I see what you're getting at.
Are you saying that this room is a puzzle, Professor?
That's right, Luke. And I'm about to solve our way out of here. The Mirror Maze. Oh, beer. 16 circular rooms are arranged in a square below. A beam of light shines in a straight line from each of the 4 letters A, B, C, and D, and exits through each of the 4 yellow arrows. 2-sided mirrors in the 4 of the rooms reflect the beams. Each beam passes through the number of rooms listed below its letter. Identify which 4 rooms contain mirrors and the direction each mirror faces by tapping the rooms. Tap a room to toggle the mirrors. Ew! So A needs 5 mirrors, B needs 4, C needs 4, and D needs 8. Oh boy. Okay. And you're limited to how many angles you get. Oh, yeah, because they're 2-sided mirrors. Yes, I forgot about that. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, this one's going to be 4. So, 1, 2, 3. There are only 4 mirrors, I think. Wait. At least it says to identify which 4 rooms contain mirrors. Okay. Two-sided mirrors in 4 of the rooms reflect the beams. Each beam passes through the number of rooms. Oh, passes through the number of rooms, not the number of mirrors it's hitting. So A is going to be passing through 5 rooms. Okay. So 1, 2, 2, 3. Alright, so 1, 2, 3, 4. Or actually, instead of doing it that way, all I would have to do is do this, and that takes care of this arrow. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now, if I could just do this, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now for this one, I wouldn't have to do actually anything for this one. It would go through just for 4, which leaves this one unaccounted for.
And that's where the hard part comes in, because he needs to go through 8 rooms. And I'm trying to get out through here. One, two, three. Got it! 7, 8. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
I've got a good feeling about this one.
Yay!
Few things satisfy like a puzzle solved.
Perfecto! Okay then, let's press on. It seems my theory was right on the money. This way, everyone. Jeez, these guys had a freaking wrecking ball in here.
Professor, I think this may be the top floor. We must be close now.
Look at this! Oh, it's actually a puzzle.
The future professor's quarters are most likely on the other side of that door. But how are we supposed to make it over the huge gap? Does anyone else think this floor looks like a giant slide puzzle?
As an astute observation, it seems the foundation under our feet is yet another puzzle for us to solve.
The future Layton sure has a flair for the dramatic.
That does seem to be the case. Now to get started on this puzzle. The Dragon Bridge. Ooh, and it's 60. Ooh, it is indeed a slide puzzle. The bridge is out. If you don't find a way across this room, you'll be unable to continue on. Can you figure out how to put the 4 pieces of the Dragon Bridge back together? You can't walk through the spiked ball, so you need to deal with that too. And try to remove the pieces from this slide puzzle. If only that were able to be done. So... can these... no, these cannot rotate. It's only 4 pieces and this is 60 pick rats, so this is definitely something. You can't walk through the spiked ball, so you need to deal with that too. Oh, wait a minute. Can I move the ball? I can. Okay. I didn't know you can move the ball. Okay, so now that I know that that can be done, what I'm seeing is... okay, so here's the head and here's the tail. I keep forgetting I can move the damn ball. Trying to get the headpiece up here, the tail part down here is incredibly hard. Okay, I think we made some decent progress here. Gonna try and maneuver the head and the tail. A lore question in the universe. How are they solving this puzzle? Very good question. Maybe there's levers or something that they're using. Oh, come on. I'm so close I could taste it. Come on. Man, by now I would have found something to, like, cut the chain and just let the ball drop. Or use the wrecking ball chain just to swing over to the other side. I swear to God, I better not have dreams of having slide puzzles. No, I'm not doing hints for slide puzzles. No way. I'm way too stubborn when it comes to that.
I've got a good feeling about this one.
Suck it!
Well, that's settled.
You did it! The future Layton is just on the other side of the Dragon Bridge. There, it's safe to cross now, everyone. I hope you weren't bored out of your mind. Alright, stand back. I'm going to open the door.
Be careful. Who knows what the future Professor Layton has planned for us?
Cutscene? Cutscene!
Excuse me, you there!
Sir Topham Hatt?
Welcome, Herschel Layton.
It's the scientist guy.
I demand an explanation.
Are you really Professor Layton?
Yes, of course. Don't you recognize your old friend?
I recognize your voice, and you're definitely not Layton.
I don't know. Something about you seems off.
Surely you recognize yourself, Herschel. Misfortune, our fortune, is a result of your ambition and genius.
What is it, Professor?
You've put on quite a show, but it's clear to me that you're nothing but a charlatan.
Oh, is that so?
Professor, what tipped you off?
Yes, what indeed? I'm all ears.
You, sir, are a fraud, and I intend to expose you for the imposter you are. Fascinating. Do continue. Luke, would you be so kind as to solve a quick puzzle for me? Right now, Professor? But aren't you be kind in the middle of something? That's weird to drop on Luke. Looking up. A pile of blocks have been carefully stacked. The image below is a view from the side. The perspective is also rotated in an unknown direction. Gravity is acting on the blocks, so any block not touching the ground or a block below it will fall. When you're looking at the blocks from the correct angle, which direction, A, B, C, or D, is up? Can I use a lifeline? Gravity is acting on the blocks, so any block not touching the ground or a block below it will fall. And we're looking at it from the side, it says, but we're also looking at this from a top point of view. Hint, please. When you examine the stack of blocks from each direction, can you find any unstable blocks? Look carefully. Unstable. I mean, there's like very few greens, so I'd say that they're getting pushed on by the other blocks. Alright, Jet says not B. C and B are both bad. Because A doesn't work either. Is the arrow the direction that is up? Yes. It's pointing to, if it's D, that's going to be up. Let's try... Agree with D, though, if the arrow is up. Let's try D.
This one's as good as solved.
It is D.
I knew it!
You got it. D is indeed up. When you look carefully at the stack from each angle, you can see which blocks will be pulled down by gravity. With the exception of D at the top, all the other positions would have falling blocks. I call bullcrap with D too. Gravity is going to be pushing down on the top here, and these two are going to come tumbling down. Yes, the boy is quite bright. We all know that. But what does that have to do with anything? I'm getting there. But first, a question. I have a pen in my pocket that's either red or blue. Which is it? What a terribly uncharacteristic query for you to make. There's no logic for me to work through. I'm not a mind reader, and I refuse to guess blindly. How can I solve your puzzle without a single hint? So in other words, you have no idea what color the pen in my pocket is? Of course not. That's funny. Oh. Look, what would happen if you removed the bottom row of blocks from that structure I showed you? The rest of the blocks will fall down, I suppose. That's right. Those blocks in the middle of the structure don't float in midair. They were stacked very carefully. Only by resting on the blocks beneath can those blocks stay elevated. If you were reading me, you would have lived through this very moment before. Therefore, you should know exactly what color the pen in my pocket is. Given your answer, I can only assume your memory of that crucial event has vanished. But remember those blocks? Each sits on top of the next. When you remove one, everything on top of it comes tumbling down. It all makes sense now! So, out with it already. What color is the pen in your pocket? There was never any pen to begin with. Yep. Just by his voice, I knew he was a scientist.
I had a feeling you were behind this, Dr. Stun Gun. Or, should I say, Dimitri Allen?
An impressive deduction. Does anything ever get past you, Herschel?
I love his voice. Future Layton, Dr. Stangun. The future Layton turns out to be Dimitri Allen, the famous scientist renowned for his research into time travel technology. Dr. Stangun is really Dimitri Allen, one of the scientists involved in the time machine explosion 10 years ago.
Hats off to you, Herschel.
So you're the one who's been kidnapping scientists under my name. But why?
Have you ever tried to build a time machine by yourself? It's a Herculean task.
Stun gun? I guess it's pronounced Stan gun, but yeah.
And by pinning the blame on you, I could disguise myself as one of the poor scientists who vanished. Conveniently, that also provided an excellent way to lure you here.
You're saying, did he take his white hat here and stuffed it up underneath the top hat he was wearing before?
After all, the virtuous Herschel Layton would never stand by as someone sullied his good name. Sure enough, you came running, and faster than expected at that.
You're a real lowlife, you know that?
So why me? You could have chosen anyone to be the scapegoat.
Oh no, it had to be you. You see, you play a critical part in the completion of my time machine. Or rather, your memories do.
What are you saying?
The best part is that I've already got what I need from you.
Of course. So that strange device...
Oh, the glasses?
Finally catching on, eh? Those glasses you put on were a cognitive capture unit of my own design. In layman's terms, a memory recorder.
But what use could you possibly have for my memories?
Why, they provide me with data, of course. Your memories contain all the information I need to recreate that fateful day's experiment.
Which day?
The day I lost everything that mattered to me.
I still don't understand what you're getting at.
I'd imagine you know quite a bit about loss yourself, Herschel. Think, man. I'm talking about Claire.
Claire.
As you know, time travel is based on movement through wormholes. One end of the wormhole is anchored in the present, but every wormhole also needs a point of origin. And to find this point of origin, one needs data. Both you and Bill had substantial interactions with Claire on the day of the accident. Using your memories of those interactions, I will triangulate the point right before her death. Of course, finding a wormhole's point of origin is no easy task. If my calculations were even the slightest bit off, I could be trapped forever.
Then why take the risk? What do you stand to gain?
Everything. You see, like you, Herschel, I loved Claire.
So you intend to travel back through time and save her?
Surely you wouldn't stop me. After all, haven't you wished for this yourself?
Nothing can excuse the kidnapping of all those scientists. Not even this, Dmitri.
You disappoint me. I had hoped a rational man like yourself would understand that the ends justify the means.
I don't see it that way.
Then what's your next move? Turn me into the police? I'd like to see you try.
You're mistaken in thinking I come here to report you to the authorities. I'm here to put an end to the schemes of a man who dragged my good name through the dirt. That's a lovely sentiment, Herschel, but you seem to have forgotten one key detail. The towering pagoda is my stronghold, and that means you're on my turf. I have more than enough men here to overpower you. Look here. Whoa! The hell's this? This 18th century relief illustrates our situation perfectly. It displays two warring factions of 5 troops. The stars indicate the strength of each troop. Your side is more or less accurately represented by the red, and mine by the gray. It should be fairly clear to you who the victor will be. The gray side has more powerful troops. There's no way to red to win. Exactly. Your apprentice has a good head on his shoulders, Herschel. Personally, I think it's a bit premature to praise him in this case, Dmitri. From what I can see, our troops wouldn't lose the fight, provided the battle is fought one-on-one. It sounds to me like you simply don't wish to admit defeat. If you believe it possible, prove it. Each troop will engage one troop from the other side in one-on-one combat. Pair each of your red troops against one from the opposing gray forces. Your troops are marked with an icon of Professor Layton. The strength of each troop is represented by the number of stars on its banner. Arrange your forces so that the red side avoids defeat. When you're ready, hit A to proceed. Oh, I organize them around. Okay. 3 will take out the 1, which leaves 2. Wait a minute. Make a draw. That's my 1 hint. Because I'm thinking if I do 3 here, it'll knock out the 1, the 2 will come down, and he can beat the 2. I need to see how the hell this
goes. Let me go by my original plan first. And they get knocked out. And that, and that, and that. Oh, they're in a one-on-one, not taking turns. Okay. So one-on-one, they knock each other out. 3-2, I knock him out. So in other words, it would be a matter of losing some battles but winning the war. So I would need to be able to win 3 out of 5. You want to draw in this scenario. Okay, so these two get knocked out. And then I would get 2 wins on him, and he would have to get 2 wins on me. Which would make a draw. So, this. There, each side wins 2 fights, loses 2 fights, and ties 1. It's a perfect draw. Of course, what the red side lacks in the strength of its troops, it can make up for with strategy. Your logic has impressed me once again.
Very nicely done, Herschel.
Give it up, Dimitri!
Give it up? Oh, no. I'm just getting started.
Ooh!
Who is that?
The Prime Minister.
Bill Hawks.
As you can see, my hostage here is something of a big shot. So I wouldn't try anything funny if I were you.
You're a monster!
Oh, no.
Missing leader. Prime Minister Bill Hawks, who was unaccounted for after the time machine incident, is discovered by Professor Layton in future London. Abducted by Dimitri, the Prime Minister is now being held prisoner. Will the heroes be able to rescue him?
Oh no, we're trapped!
I hate to disappoint you, but it seems you've failed to ensnare the genuine article.
What?
Professor? How'd you get there?
What?
Just what is going on here? Why are there 2 of you?
Which one is the real professor?
What the hell happened?
What?
Oh! Oh, I totally forgot about him! Don Paolo!
If he's in here...
Then where's the real professor?
I had no idea! Holy crap!
This is getting far too complicated.
Yeah, what's going on?
Take note, Luke. A true gentleman never plays his ace in the hole until absolutely necessary.
Hey, Layton, here's an idea for you. Why don't you quit it with the lectures and get me out of here?
Help us, Professor!
Be patient, Luke. I just need to find a way past this lock.
I smell a puzzle! Don Paolo is always the answer. The right button. This cell door will open if you simply press the right button. Here's how to find it. Think of the buttons as squares on a grid. From wherever you start, move from one square to another in the direction dictated by each symbol. A star means go left, moon means go right, sun means go up, and a drop of water means go up. Oh, a sun means go down, and a drop of water means go up. There's only one button you can start from and reach all of the others by following the rules. Push that button. Okay. Star left, sun down, moon right. Okay, no. What is there fewest of? There's 5 moons, 5 stars, 4 waters, and only 2 suns. So let's start with the suns. Alright, Ray, you go get some sleep. Thanks for stopping by the way. Down, left, up, right. Following the rules listed above. Okay, wait a minute. This corner here is letting me go in a perfect circle. Up, right, down, left. What the hell? Square to another in the direction dictated by each symbol. There's only one button you can start from and reach all the others by following the rules. But you can start with any of these and you'd get all 4 of the symbols. So I just choose one of them? The hell? Which means you can't start there. So, what about from here instead? Right, right. Oh, I'm trying to get all of them. Okay, that's what's going on. I was thinking all the symbols. I didn't know it had to be all the buttons. So what about starting here? Down, right, 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 up, left, up, right, up, left, left, down, left. So you know what? I think it's this one. Left, down, okay, there, up, left, up, right, up, left, and then there's all that. This one.
Let's see if I've got this right. Few things satisfy like a puzzle solved.
Thank you, Courtsy. Did you subbed before with Prime at the start of the stream? What happened? It would seem the tables have turned on you, Dimitri. Given your penchant for logical thinking, I'd say you're deluded about the current situation. Look around you. In case you haven't noticed, you're deep within the family's headquarters. I need only say the word, and my men will come rushing to my aid. You underestimate me, Dimitri. Do you think I'd be so naive as to set foot in your base without a plan of my own? This building is fascinating in its complexity. I saw plenty of spots where one might conceal a trap or the like. On my way here, I set up a few diversions of my own. Call for your henchmen if you like. I imagine most of them will have their hands full for at least a few more minutes. Clever, Herschel. Very clever.
Come on, boss. We gotta run.
It seems I must concede defeat today, but this is far from over. I look forward to seeing you when our paths cross next. They're much faster than I imagined. There's no chance of us catching them. Oh no. What's wrong? Dimitri and his men managed to abscond with the Prime Minister in the midst of all this commotion. Oh dear! Uh-oh, that doesn't sound good. Dimitri's activated an alarm. Family members from the area are going to flood this place before long. There's a distinct possibility we may have to fight our way out of the towering pagoda. But didn't you take care of Dimitri's henchmen on the way in, Professor? Not quite, I'm afraid. A few diversions I managed to set up will only buy us a few more minutes. The path we took on the way in is most likely swarming with family thugs now. Our only hope is to find some sort of an emergency escape route. Dimitri's a prudent man. He may have someone hidden in this room somewhere. We must search this place thoroughly. I don't know, maybe the giant-ass clock? Like that? We're in luck. We found a hidden puzzle. It seems incredibly obvious. A difference of 39. Touching the squares on the scoreboard below will turn them from white to green. Both sides currently display 58, but Luke and Professor Layton are planning to each touch one square and create two different numbers. The difference between the two numbers will be 39. What are those numbers? The difference will be 39. So it's going to be a higher number compared to a lower number, and the sum of the subtraction will become 39. Touch one square. Jet, okay. Feel free. Tell me what the answer is. Because I'm stuck on the whole they only touch one square deal. Oh wait, touch this one. That'll be 68. 98 and 59. Okay, I can see how you make a 9, but you have to get rid of these. I'll try 98 and 59. You have to touch one square on the left and one square on the right to make those digits. Oh!
This one's as good as solved.
Nice!
No
I still don't get it,
puzzle
but
can stop
nice.
Layton's apprentice.
Correct. One side will be 98 and the other 59. Okay, they want the 9 like that shape. I was thinking the 9 just like that, minusing these two squares. That's why I was getting stuck. There's nothing like the sense of accomplishment that finishing a good puzzle brings. That wasn't the puzzle in question? Ah, there's a trapdoor here. I'm glad my hunch was right. This is our ticket out of here. Oof, this stairwell is awfully narrow, and there's more than one path. Which way do we go, Layton? Look, there's a map here that charts out the network of channels below us. Let me see. My, this is a bit of a tangled mess, isn't it? A blind escape. In the dark maze of tunnels below, you can't turn unless you hit a wall. Following this rule, you need to reach the goal without taking the same path twice or running into any dead ends. Which route should you take? You have to turn when you hit a wall. Okay. Which means that way is not it. Got it.
That should do the trick.
Easy peasy.
Well,
That
that's
should
simple.
not have been 30. That should have been like 15. Great escape. You found the way out.
The passages up below are too narrow for all of us to move through at the same time. If we wish to get out of here quickly, we'll need to split into 2 groups. I don't like it, but it seems we have no choice. Now who should I take with me?
You always get to be the gentleman. This time let me escort the young lady.
Sorry, I prefer your coming with me, Don Paolo. Very well then, Flora and I will break off. Luke, you go with the professor and help him keep an eye on Don Paolo. Little Luke, trade with me. I want to be in the professor's group. Flora, we'll see each other soon enough. Go with Big Luke, and we'll meet back at the hotel. Alright, our groups are set. Let's get moving. Ouch! What did I just run into?
Let me guess, a wall?
Let me feel. This might actually be a door. Oh yeah, it is. There's a handle here. Whew.
Great. Now where are we?
We're at the bottom of an emergency stairwell. There should be a way out of the building here somewhere. I don't know. Maybe the giant winding staircase here is a dead giveaway? Or we're taking the door.
Well, look at that. We made it out.
The family is bound to have men in the vicinity. We need to put some distance between us and the pagoda. AKA, run like hell.
I still don't understand why Don Paolo's here. Can someone please explain that to me?
Always with the questions. Won't you put a lid on it for a few minutes, you brat?
You should still sound like Waluigi, and that's my own given opinion.
I most certainly will not.
Honestly, you two, would you please stop bickering? You're on the same side.
And while I'm getting things off my chest, why the heck did I have to play the decoy who gets caught?
Come now, Paul. It wasn't that bad. Your role was certainly the more exciting one.
Professor, you still haven't explained what happened back there.
I knew we'd be monitored from the moment we stepped foot inside the pagoda. So I wanted to make sure we had at least one trick up our collective sleeve. Don Paolo, master of deception and disguise, seemed like the perfect man to employ for the task.
So what did you do? Reached him via cell phone?
You two are friends? That's the first I've heard of this.
Ha! Don't get it confused, kid. I'm no friend of his. We both want answers to the same questions. So we decided to work together. That's all.
When did this start?
Tell me, Luke, when we visited Dr. Schrader, did anything he said strike you as strange?
No, not really.
It was his greeting that made me suspicious.
Huh?
Who's that? Oh, it's you, Herschel. And little Luke.
Said...
Sure, I remember
What?
it. But what of it?
He didn't seem terribly surprised to see little Luke, did he?
Okay.
Oh, of course. In the future, I'm not a kid anymore. But the doctor didn't even notice.
Precisely.
That means Dr. Schrader was...
Don Paolo in disguise, yes.
Okay. What? I mean, elderly people call others little. He was in a hospital bed. What the... Whatever.
So you knew he was a fake before he even said 4 sentences. Wow, you're good, Professor.
That planted the seed of doubt, though I didn't confirm my suspicion until much later.
Did Don Paolo pose as anyone else?
Yes, he did a bit of spying on us as Dean Del Mona when we met him last. From the moment I laid eyes on him, it was obvious we were dealing with an imposter.
Flora went with Big Luke.
Amazing. How did you know?
His white hair gave it away.
But white hair seems perfectly natural on a man his age.
Not if he wears a wig. He let me in on his secret some time ago. He's been bald for ages. Don Paolo mistakenly selected a white wig to show how much Dean Del Mona had aged.
Wow.
Okay, no one would have been able to figure that one out.
Shortly after that, I confronted Don Paolo and had him tell me everything. It seems Dmitri had been paying him quite handsomely to make sure we headed toward the pagoda. I filled Don Paolo in on all the strange happenings we've witnessed here, and then I requested his assistance in solving this mystery.
Well, that all makes sense, I suppose. But the part I still don't get is why Don Paolo decided he wanted to help us. After all, this is the fellow who tried to run us over with a Ferris wheel.
That's none of your business, brat.
Hey, call me a brat again and just see what happens.
It was Claire, Luke. It all had to do with Claire.
The woman Dimitri was talking about?
Claire was my girlfriend back when I was just starting my academic career. She was a researcher who worked in the same laboratory as Dimitri.
Oh no, so she...
Yes. The last time I saw her, she was on her way to the lab the day of that massive explosion. The oddest thing is that the accident received very little media coverage. It's clear someone with a lot of influence was suppressing information about the incident. I did everything I could to research the matter on my own. My efforts were largely fruitless.
So, we have 3 guys here, all tied to Claire. Holy crap.
I had no idea.
It's likely that Dimitri feels he is to blame for Claire's death. His obsession with going back in time seems like a twisted version of atonement.
What a terribly sad story. But what does it have to do with Don Paolo?
Well, Luke, as it turns out, Dimitri and I weren't the only ones with strong feelings for Claire.
No way! You mean...
What? Don't act so surprised. I have feelings too, you know.
Aww, Don Paolo has a heart.
Thanks for meeting me on such short notice, Herschel.
Oh, no. It's my pleasure.
Here, this is for you.
What is it?
A letter, of course. Read it at home.
Why don't you just tell me what it says?
Cringe.
My, you're making this quite difficult.
He is not
Work
good
out
with
the
long
phase.
hair either. Oh
Well-
god, I'm glad he got a hair change.
In short, this.